Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says that we are to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. How is it that God does that? He does it through the gospel, Romans chapter 1 verse number 16. But is there any particular way that we are to view ourselves in this particular process? Absolutely. In Luke chapter 18, I want you to listen to the opening words of a parable. In verse number 9, we're not going to go over the parable right now, but he spoke a parable to them that were present about a Pharisee and a tax collector that went up to pray. And notice what he says in verse 9. And he spoke this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. These are people that have great confidence. And listen, there's nothing wrong with having confidence, but what is your confidence based in? John 15 verse 5 says, our confidence needs to be based upon our relationship with Jesus, because with Him, if we abide in Him, we'll bear much fruit. Without Him, we can do nothing. And so we need to have a very sober view of ourselves. In Luke chapter 7, beginning at verse number 41, they're in the middle of a situation where Jesus is dining with Simon the Pharisee, and a woman from the community comes in. Simon is somewhat amazed. He's looking at this woman and he thinks, she's a sinner. She's a sinner. And Jesus is allowing this woman to wash his feet with her tears and wipe them with the hair of his head. If this man were a prophet, he would know who and what manner of woman this is that is touching him. And Jesus tells this parable beginning at verse number 41. There was a certain creditor who had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii and the other 50. And when they had nothing with which to repay, he freely forgave them both. Now here's the point of the parable. People come up with all kinds of weird ideas and they say, there's some people that have a little bit of sin and there's some people that have a bunch of sin, and the one that has a bunch of sin will love God more. That is ridiculous. You've missed the point of the parable. Here's the point of the parable. Which one of them was able to pay the debt? Was the small debtor able to pay his debt? Was the large debtor able to pay his debt? No, they were both bankrupt. And if not for the graciousness of the creditor, they had no hope. We need to view our own lives that way. Without the graciousness of God, we have no hope. So we need to merely submit and surrender to His will. Join us again next week for your Daily 180.